friends, this is the Cryptonian taking a look at Bitcoin. I'm just going to make a short video here. Want to give you guys a small update. Currently Bitcoin is 26,525, and you can see that we had a little bit of a push higher here, nothing significant. Everyone's kind of getting excited about this, but the reality is even here on the daily chart, the structure really hasn't changed, right? We're just pushing up and now finding resistance at the 30-day moving average. 30-day moving average is commonly tested, repeatedly tested on a downtrend. So there's no real change in structure here. So, but what I did want to remind you of is the FOMC meeting here. FOMC meeting. Now, I've said in previous videos that it was on the 19th, which is Tuesday, but it's actually on Wednesday, which is September 20th, right? September 20th at 14:30, which is about 2:30 p.m. 14:30 is military time, so it's 2:30 p.m. And that's something that we have to be aware of. And the reason is because right now, if the Fed hikes again, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for crypto, not going to be good for Bitcoin. And I really think that this little push higher here probably would roll over, and then I think we would probably retest that 24,900 and possibly even break that, right? Now, going into this meeting, the consensus before the CPI data, before the inflation data, the consensus was that they were not going to hike again, right? But now, after the CPI data and the inflation data showing a little bit of uptick, slightly drift higher in inflation. We see a little bit of inflation numbers elevated a little bit. Excuse me. Recently, this I think will be taken into consideration by the Fed and their decision on the rate hike. So if there is a rate hike, I do expect Bitcoin to just continue lower, or maybe even continue to grind sideways until the bulls try to push it higher. Um, it's very possible they try to go higher here, but again, we are situated right under the 200 and the 50 moving averages. Let's move this down a little bit so we can see. So we can see here the 200 and the 50 moving average, um, both together, getting very close to a death cross, right? And so typically that's not good. Death crosses are bearish, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now we do have some solid consolidation here above that 24,900, 25,000 level. And right now we're testing that descending diagonal line that we have here, this white line here. Now this is only the first one. We do have a second descending diagonal line up here, and it's above the 50 and the 200. That's significant. That is significant. So, and there's confluence between that diagonal resistance and this previous high here, right? Previous high coming in at 27,711. So there's a lot of resistance above Bitcoin right now, and this is going to be a little bit tough, especially with the FOMC meeting coming. So what we normally see is we normally see some type of a rally into the meeting, and I think that's pretty much what we've seen here, right? So over the next few days, finishing out the weekend, Monday and Tuesday, we may go a little bit higher. We may even push up into the 200 and to the 50, and maybe a little bit above it into that pocket just below that secondary descending resistance line. And we possibly could even retest the diagonal line of 27,711 or 700, something like that. But the reality is, unless we break that 27,711, it's just noise, right? And we could easily push up here, get rejected, and just turn over and come right back down. So it really depends on what's going to happen on Wednesday with the Fed, what they interpret the latest CPI data to mean, that little uptick in inflation. And if they pause, then we could see a continuation of push higher up into these moving averages and the resistance lines, right? And previous price action line. Now, the previous price action line, excuse me, is the point that we need to break to make a higher high, right? And that would suggest then after a higher high, that would suggest a higher low, and then you get the idea. We could go into some type of a trend pushing up into possibly trying to test the 29 or 30, $31,000 area, and that would be very bullish. If we do that, that's going to be incredibly bullish, by the way. And so then I would expect at the very least some type of continued consolidation here, and possibly even pushing up here like this, higher low, and then a retest of that 30-31 area. However, we have to wait and see. That's not a guarantee, and we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. So the data shows here on the daily, 50 is the RSI, so we're right at that midline. Okay, RSI is 50, so there's plenty of room to go to push this a little bit higher up into the resistance area and test that. And then if we break through that, that's going to be very bullish. A lot of bears will get decapitated, and then you'll see a big candle pushing higher. That being said, EMA trend is bearish. We're still in the red cloud. As you can see, that's the visual confirmation of the trend. And we did on the daily get the B1. We did get a B1 signal on the daily. Been in that, we've been under that B1 for some time. Now, taking a look at the 4-hour chart, I can show you that we had the B1 signal, and then the B2 followed up not long after that, and then we went into a green cloud impulse higher. So when we take a look at that and apply that to the daily, we may see, if we hold these levels, we may see a B2 signal. That would be a confirmation that we're going into a green cloud and some kind of a stronger impulse higher. And then I would expect to be testing the 27,700, possibly 28,000 level. At the very least, the 200 and the 50 moving average here at 27,000. So that's pretty much what we're looking for, right? The expansion, contraction, the volatility mod is showing that we are currently in an expansion phase, right? And that's not a surprise because we do see that impulse moving higher here. And I'm not saying it's a pump; it's just an impulse. A lot of people on social media, they're saying, "Wow, Bitcoin is making a huge, not a huge, but making a rally. We're going into a rally. We're breaking. We're going to be breaking out. We're going higher." They're making all kinds of assumptions when in reality we're still in a trend that's going lower, right? We're still in a downtrend. It's a local downtrend, but it's still a downtrend. This impulse here is just noise because look, the Cryptonian volatility mod is under 10. So anything under 10 is noise. It's just consolidation. So to break out, we have to get above at least 10 or 12 and show that this has some power behind it. And right now, it's not looking like there's a lot of power yet. We're just getting started, right? So we're still in this move higher, right? So this move is not over because we don't have a reversal yet, right? Up here, it says reversal and it says no. See this right here? It says reversal no. That is telling us that there's no reversal yet. And we can see it when a reversal takes place. We can see that, right? The background turns dark again, okay? Where you have the blue line and the light blue background, it turns yellow. The line turns yellow, and then you get the darker background. And that's when the move is over. So the move's not over yet. This is just the beginning, right? So that's why I'm saying this could continue. We just need to pause a little bit because when we take a look at our stochastics, now this is another tool that I created. I love this tool. It shows a triple stochastic all at the same time, right? And so when we take a look at the triple stochastics, the daily is overheated right here. That white line, it's way, way overheated. And currently, right now, you can see that we're at 97.2. So this was a move higher here, bringing the stochastics into an overheated area. Because we went so, long in a very tight range going sideways, um, this small impulse to the upside, brought us into a overheated stochastic RSI. Not a big deal. What we can do here is we could just have some consolidation here, and that will reset the stochastics here, bringing it down like so, and then we could have another impulse higher. Or if we're really, really strong, really, really bullish, we'll just go sideways a little bit and then just push right back up again. So that also could happen. The 4-hour stochastics is actually below midline. We're ready for another impulse on the 4-hour chart to go higher, but we'll have to wait and see. That's why on the 4-hour it does look like we're just going sideways, right? Like so. See? There is no real sell pressure right now. We're waiting for that FOMC meeting on Wednesday, and we're consolidating right under that 200 moving average. So right now the ranges, I'll say this, I'll provide ranges on the 4-hour chart. The ranges that I'm looking at right now is the resistance of the 200 moving average, 26,650 right here, and the point of control, which is 26,050. 26,050. Any price movement in between these two areas, these two price points I just mentioned, is not a big deal. It's expected, it's just noise. If we break down below that point of control, that 26,050, then that's going to spell trouble and weakness, and we can expect to retest the 24,900 area. If we break above that 26,652, that 200 moving average on the 4-hour, then we could definitely be going higher, testing these upper levels here of, possibly 27,700 or 28,000. And then that would be a signal that we're gaining strength and we're going higher there, right? So, in my opinion, that's what the market is waiting for, the FOMC meeting, and we could rally into that. So this rally is not over. It's just preparatory for next week, right? So that being said, going back to the daily, there is no reversal yet, and we're below the daily pivot, but we still are above the three daily support levels, and you can see here volatility is 8.6. So really, not much to talk about, just some volatility that is within the consolidation range. And we really have to wait and see for next week to see what happens. Now, the thing that's really significant, I don't think the 4-hour and the daily is really the important chart. What I think the important chart is this weekly chart. Hold on, let me go ahead and do that. There we go. And so we see here that the weekly chart has the 200 moving average right under price action. And so what's interesting is we have this push higher. This is significant because it pushes us away, creates distance between that 200 moving average, which is coming in, by the way, at 24,572. That, in my opinion, is why we held this area, is because that 200 weekly moving average is at that 27 or 24,572, and we bounced right at my yellow line at 24,950. So that's part of what's keeping price action alive and above that 25K area is that 200 moving average. Now the 30 moving average is right above us, and that's where we're at on the weekly, providing resistance, and that's part of the reason why we're seeing on the daily and the 4-hour some consolidation there, right, at that level. So we need to get above on the daily now, we need to get above the excuse me, on the weekly, we need to get above that 27,300 level to be significant, and we need to hold that. That would actually put us into a change of trend, change of structure. Okay, so anyway, I didn't want to make the video very long, but I guess I already did, didn't I? Anyway, um, I love crypto. Can you tell? So it's so fun, and I really like the analysis part of it. So there you have it, friends. Just waiting for the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, and if there's good news from the Fed, can I'm expecting a rally to the upside. It's not obligatory. It's just what my opinion is. Again, this is not investment advice. This is just a courtesy that I provide on YouTube with analysis and using my tools just because I love it, right? And so this is providing something. This is what I do for you on YouTube, just to provide a service, right? So anyway, that being said, I wish you a great weekend. I wish you a great Sunday, and get out and do something fun. If you're in an area where it's sunny and good weather, we're going to be having rain, so probably won't be getting out to do too much. But yeah, enjoy your weekend, and we will talk to you um, next week. Now that being said, I do have a Twitter X account that you need to be aware of. I do post a lot of informational content here, and it's just getting started. It's the Cryptonian 2.0. So if you want to visit me there, you can see that I do share a lot of information here. Here, this is about the FOMC meeting, and I even say the 19th here. So I apologize. It's actually the 20th. And then here is news about PayPal integrating crypto, which is huge. They're creating ramps for crypto, fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat. That's huge. And so that's big news. You can read that there as well, and a snapshot, or excuse me, a snapshot of the market there. So, um, yeah, there you have it. So I think that we're gonna finish the video here, and I appreciate your time. Please help me out by clicking like and subscribe if you feel that this information is interesting to you. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching, friends.